Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Michelle's vlog, and our week was pretty much identical to what we did last week. She did run into issues towards the end of the week, had a little bit of hip flexor pain, so her last squat of the week was a hair high, and then of course she got sick, a little bit under the weather, so we really deloaded her final day of the week. I think she only ended up pulling like 315, squatting 250, did a little bit of accessory work, and then we just got out of there. I had her call it a day. I'm like, there's no point in doing all this, right? You're not feeling well, you're under the weather, get hydrated, get some sleep. So, a little bit of a sinus infection. So we started her week off, obviously, with a bench press. We did 160 for a pause rep. Her supplemental work on bench press days is what we've been doing. And again, I know some of this stuff can get boring and repetitive, but that's what we have to do to make gains. Sometimes that's what we have to do. It's a little different when I have my people who run conjugate where we're rotating all the maxes all the time, but sometimes their accessory work stays very, very constant. In her case, we're just basing it upon where we see her weakest links at, general hypertrophy, just getting bigger and stronger. Now, in her case, on the benching, her chest is a weak link. So what are we doing? We're pause benching, and then we're doing dumbbell benching, right? Very, very good combination for that. Keeping in mind, in Michelle's case, due to some previous shoulder stuff and scar tissue and cartilage stuff in her shoulder, incline benching seems to be out. It was an issue previously with her last coach. She noticed it, so I've never had her do any incline benching because, again, it seems to be painful for her, so we don't do it. And that might be an option in the situation she's in at the moment with her training. It would possibly be an option. But because it's not, we're doing dumbbells. And dumbbells work great. They work absolutely great for a chest weakness, especially if we pair it with a barbell. So we're getting everything that we need. So I don't want people to think that because we can't do the incline that we're not going to be able to maximize things. And that's not how it works. Again, dumbbells work phenomenally well. And a lot of it's through the same mechanisms in the sense that both allow for a better stretch reflex at the bottom of the bench. Okay? And that's really what we're seeking there. We're getting those pecs into a deeper lengthened position. Just with incline, it's at a different angle, so slightly different fibers are worked. All right, for additional work for her, we do chin-ups. And for me, back work is largely interchangeable. I'm not married to things like pull-ups and chin-ups. She really likes pull-ups and chin-ups, and she's good at them. So I let her do those, and we tend to keep those in her program all the time. We tend to keep them in there. If they ever become an issue for her, I take her exclusively to rows. I only do rows. It's better for my shoulder health personally, right? So again, it's not that there's anything particularly special about pull-ups and chin-ups. I'm a big fan of them, but she's good at them, and she's built a base with them, so we might as well use them. Then, of course, we do JM presses, which are a strong point for her. Her triceps are probably her strongest bench press muscle, right? And we still just do the bit of tricep work just to maintain that. And, people will ask that too. They'll say, you'll have lifters whose triceps are not a weakness, yet they keep training triceps separate. And it's simply because rep work on bench devalues triceps just a little bit compared to the heavy stuff. So that's part of the situation. She ran into a little issue with the squatting that day. Again, it's an issue with a little bit of hip flexor pain. So the point, though, with the triceps, what's going on with triceps there? It's that they get a little devalued on rep work on benching relative to maxes. Number two, triceps have a higher work capacity than pecs. They seem to benefit and be able to tolerate higher volumes of training than, say, pecs do. So in that case, it almost always makes sense to add some type of tricep work to your chest pressing. And I'm not saying you have to, it's just that it's a good general rule unless you see a reason not to. And if anyone had a reason not to, it would be her. But we still continue to do it. All right, for lower body day, again, a little bit of issues with the hips on the squatting this week. 280 squat, 330 deadlift there, 330 deadlift. And I thought earlier in the week that she had done the 335, but that was penciled in later in the week when she wasn't up to speed and able to do it. So we do that. Then we do hip thrusts. All right, hip thrusts. Hip thrusts have been very instrumental for her. She gets a lot out of them. I don't prescribe them to a lot of my clients. A few of them get them. In her case, she seems to really benefit from them. And we're seeing it in the squat carryover, right? We've seen her squat climb, a nice little notch since we've added them in. It's gone up a tier. So we do that. We do single leg presses. Again, I want to get some extra quad and adductor work in. Single leg presses allows us to do this. We do glute ham raises. Reverse hyperextensions. Right? We do those things, and then we always throw some ab work in. I don't always get a lot of footage of her ab work. Right? We don't always get a lot of footage of that. And I tend to include it in the vlogs when we get it because she's really good at toe to bars. So I may throw those in here at the very end of this vlog. But here we're doing the glute ham raises, the reverse hyperextensions. And then, of course, you'll see her 160 bench again on the second bench day. And then our last day of the week kind of got messed up a little bit due to illness. And again, these things happen. So we'll finish up with the benching, and then I think I'll throw in some ab work for you guys just to see it. So I hope it has been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.